everyone! I just wanted to make this short video about the first milestone, which is due this week, and that's your topic proposal. This is where you're going to choose the two pieces you'll be comparing and contrasting for your final project. And it's a little bit more than that, so it's not just stating the pieces you're going to be comparing, but there's more. But we'll talk about the specifics of the assignment in a second. First thing I wanted to talk to you about is if you're having some issues or difficulty choosing your two pieces. So let's say you have one piece, but you're not sure about what piece to compare with it. Send me an email, and I can definitely give you some suggestions. We can have a chat on the phone, and I can help you choose pieces to compare and contrast, because you definitely want to make sure that there's some sort of similarity between the two pieces. You don't want them to be exactly the same. They have to be from two different stylistic periods, but there has to be some sort of commonality between the two. It'll make the paper so much easier to write. The second thing that I wanted to talk to you about is that technically this assignment is not due until Sunday night, but I would recommend getting it in as soon as possible, so that way I can give you some feedback. You can incorporate that feedback, resubmit, and get the best grade possible. Now let's turn our attention to the rubric. This is the document that you will want to reference because it tells you exactly what needs to be included in this assignment to get the best grade possible. So the first section of the rubric is the overview. It provides you some context, the reason why you're doing this assignment, etc. The next section is very important. It's the recommended resources list. So you want to reference these resources to support the ideas in your proposal. And you will have to use reputable and scholarly resources, so no Wikipedia, to support your proposal. And you will have to include a works cited section that has proper MLA citations. If you need some help with MLA citations, I definitely have some resources I could direct you to. Just let me know. Now the next section here is on the actual proposal, so what needs to be included. The first thing is images of both your pieces. The next is the artist name and the title for both your pieces. After that, you'll need to include the style movement. So is it from the Romantic period, the Baroque period, Surrealist movement, etc. If you're not exactly sure what style movement it comes from, just let me know and I can definitely help you out with that as well. Next is the location and the origin. So the location is where it's currently located, and the origin is where it was originally created. So these most likely will be two different places. And the last thing is the largest section. It's going to be the largest section that you'll need to include, and that's defending your chosen topic by explaining why the two pieces should be compared. Now this is where that similarity and commonality helps, because it's going to give you a place to springboard off of for the rest of the paper. What you want to talk about here is how are these two pieces significant to their time period? How do they reflect that stylistic period? What are the cultural and historical contexts of the work? So like, what was going on during this time period which could have influenced the artist and in turn affected your painting? And it's very important to know what was going on at this time, because most likely that had a huge impact on that artist, and it will be reflected in your painting. Talk about how the work or the artist was important to the development of art. So if you're talking about a piece by Van Gogh or Bernini, these people had huge influences on the other artists during that stylistic period, during that time period, and also later on. So you want to talk about those things. And the last thing you want to include is, what do you hope your readers, so myself and your peers, will gain through your comparison? So that's a big section. There's a lot of things in there, but they all are important, and you need to touch on every single one of them. Now, if we scroll down here, this is the rubric that I'm going to be using to assess all of your proposals. So make sure you read through this proficient column and that you include all of these elements so that you get the best grade possible. This is basically like a checklist for you. So go through this piece and make sure that you understand exactly what needs to be included in there. And if you have any questions, just let me know. It's not a very long proposal at all, but these pieces do need to be in place before we can really move forward with your final project. So please email me and let me know if you have any questions. Bye!